All right, guys, here we are. It is week 14. It's matchup preview time. You know, going to be an interesting week this week. A lot of playoff implications on the line. I don't know what the hell is going on with my hair up here. This is out of control. In any event, at least I still have it. That's good. But the first matchup with huge playoff implications is Let's Go Brandon versus the Bears. So you got myself versus Heyman in this matchup. You know, Heyman's drawing me at a very opportune time. Dalvin Cook may or may not play. Jonathan Taylor's on bye this week. New England's D is on bye. Who knows what's going to happen with Eli Mitchell, if he's going to play or not. So, very opportune time for Heyman to be playing me. On his side of things, he's got Harris, Eckler, Connor, Pitts. Everybody's healthy for Heyman. The only guy he's missing is Adam Thielen. And let's be honest, Adam Thielen being out is a net positive for Heyman. So, what's the bold prediction in this one? I'm going to go with James Robinson, the resurgence. Top 5 RB this week. He's getting into the end zone twice, getting the ball 25 plus times. That's how it's going to go down. Now, on Heyman's side of things, bold prediction, Kyle Pitts continues to be the Pitts. He sucks, guys. Rookie tight ends. What did I tell you? They don't do it. They never do it. He's not going to do it. I'm going to get the W over Heyman just because, I mean, come on. Heyman's not going to beat me. Get out of here. Now, we have the replacements versus El Ultimo Bailar. So Tony versus Reese. Another crucial playoff matchup. I think I forgot to mention if I beat Heyman, that's it. He's mathematically eliminated. He's done. He's out of the playoffs if I beat him. If Tony knocks off Reese, it starts getting interesting. But if Reese wins, he's in. He's in the playoffs. That's it. Final four is set. Now, Reese's team, tough matchups with Stafford at Arizona. The Rams at Arizona is tough. Patterson, tough matchup at Carolina. Hunter Renfrow and what is actually a really tough matchup with the Chiefs. Chiefs defense has been really good, especially against slot wideouts. I hate that play. I think it's a bad play. Not really much he can do about it, though, because you can't play Darnell Mooney at Green Bay with Jair Alexander coming back. That's, total avoid spot. As much as I'd love to think Darnell Mooney just cooks him, probably not. But, Saquon Barkley, if he doesn't do it this week against the Chargers, you might as well just cut him. I mean, speaking of cut, was this the team that dropped Derrick Henry? Derrick Henry's working out, man. He might be back very soon. Man, thank God Reese dropped him. That would have been a problem. Bold prediction here. I'm going to go the Dallas defense, who was really strong last week, gets smashed by the Washington football team. Taylor Heineke, Antonio Gibson, Terry McLaurin, big days ahead. And Washington will upset the Dallas Cowboys, but fantasy bold prediction, less than 5 fantasy points out of the Dallas defense. Now, on Tony's side of things, Tony has the worst wideout situation, arguably, that we've ever seen in this league. He, of course, ignored my advice to try to fix his bye week issues for week 13 and 14 weeks ago. Ignored my advice, and now he has no Michael Pittman, no Mike Gesicki, no Devontae Smith in this game. In a must-win for Tony. Tony's pretty much out of it, but if he wants any shot at all, he's got to find a way to win. Starting guys like KJ Osborne and Tyler Conklin. I mean, Jesus Christ, who is that? I don't even know who those guys are. I do know that they're both on the Vikings, and neither one of them is Dalvin Cook or Justin Jefferson. So that's useless. Pretty much the entire Vikings offense runs through the running back and Justin Jefferson. That's pretty much what they do. But I think Zeke in a decently good spot at Washington probably gets into the end zone. Aaron Jones has smashed the Packers or smashed the Bears for a long time. Expect that to continue. My bold prediction, though, is this is the Lamar Jackson explosion week at Cleveland. Lamar goes to be the QB1 on the week and finishes with more fantasy points than any quarterback has this season thus far. It's bold, but that's why we call them bold predictions. So who's getting the dub here? I'm going to go with Tony Jr. getting the dub. So there you go. Now we have Jason Exotic versus Sleepy Joe. And man, Joe's team reeks of desperation right now. He's got questionable Landry, IR Julio, questionable Monty, questionable Hawkinson, COVID Mike Williams. Jesus Christ, man. This is ugly for Joe. Brady is in a shootout spot with Buffalo. I expect him to do very well. By the way, for all of you naysayers, when I said Brady had the best shot at 50 touchdowns this season, Brady has more passing touchdowns than anybody else. He has 34 already. And while it'd be a long shot for him to get to 50, not out of the realm of possibility. He could do it if he keeps staying hot. The guy you guys argued with me about, with most likely to throw 50 touchdowns, was Pat Mahomes, who has 9 less touchdowns than Brady, but somehow has thrown more interceptions. Mahomes sucks, guys. I don't know what to tell you. I've never seen a young star fall from grace so quickly. What a terrible quarterback. But hey, at least he gave them a great running game when he had them take Clyde Edwards-Helaire over DeAndre Swift, J.K. Dobbins, and Jonathan Taylor, and Cam Akers. Oh, and James Robinson, for that matter. Wow. They should load up Pat Mahomes into a cannon and shoot him out of the stadium because that dumbass ruined your offense for forever. Forever. They're never going to be good again, guys. Now, bold prediction on Joe's side of things. We already went through all the questionable people. Joe is throwing TJ Hawkinson back into his lineup because Hawkinson has lucked his way into the end zone each of the last 2 weeks. He's combined for 19 points over the last 2 weeks, 12 of those points coming from the 2 lucky-ass touchdowns. Hawkinson's a pile of crap. I mean, he's garbage. So my bold prediction is Hawkinson does not catch a pass at Denver. Not one single pass. It's a 0. Goose egg for Hawkinson. And I'm going to laugh my ass off for every second of it. Now, Jason's side of things, Eli Moore, the second best Eli in football behind Eli Mitchell. He's been hot, man. And you got McLaurin. I mentioned him earlier. I think he's in a great spot. I do think they're over projecting Mahomes and Tyreek because they don't score that many points. They just frankly don't score that much. Love Joe Mixon, even against the Niners. It feels like a Rob Gronkowski game against Buffalo. It's, Gronk. I don't know if you guys know this, but Brady and Gronk have absolutely decimated Buffalo throughout their career. I think I saw Brady is like 35-3 against Buffalo in his career. It's something just outlandish like that. And Gronk has more receiving touchdowns against Buffalo than any other team. I think Gronk smashes. Bold prediction. I'm going to say Michael Gallup catches a 50-plus yard touchdown. He's going to get loose deep. So who's going to win this one? I look over at Joe's team and see all this red. I can't pick Joe. It's Jason's going to find a way to win. Joe's limping into the playoffs. I mean, Jesus. His team put up a big week last week, and I'm glad they peaked last week because it is ugly out there for that team. I hope I get to play Joe first round of the playoffs. Now, we have Aaron the GOAT versus Who's Next. I know you're watching this, Joe, by the way, and I'm going to kick your ass in the playoffs. So just so you know, look at Tony Sr.'s team versus the red hot Jared Salzman, the mighty Jew, coming in strong here towards the end of the season, playing spoiler. If Senior wins, he's definitely in the playoffs. If not, then he's probably still in, but it's not out of the realm of possibility that he doesn't make it. Now, Senior keeps trotting out that has been DK Metcalf every week. DK Metcalf is so bad, guys. I mean, he's like the TJ Hawkinson of wide receivers. He's just a completely useless pile of dog shit that's going to keep getting thrown into the lineup every week despite no production. Amari Cooper, good spot at Washington. I think he has a solid game. My bold prediction for Senior is the returning Alvin Kamara is going to smash the Jets. Smash. You know, they're not going to look at what Taysom Hill did last week with 4 interceptions and say, hey, we need to let that guy throw the ball more. They've been dying for Kamara to be back. He's back. Great spot. I think Kamara gets in the end zone 3 times against the Jets. 3 touchdowns. Also think Josh Jacobs is in a deceptively great spot at Kansas City. Their only weakness on defense is stopping the run. Jacobs has historically done pretty well against Kansas City. I like it. On Jared's side of things, the hottest team in the league, Javonte Williams. What a stud. He finally gets an opportunity to be the lead back. And what does he do? He finishes the week as the overall RB1 on the week. Huge week, but not as huge as George DJ Kittle's dominating the Seahawks last week to the tune of 186 yards and 2 TDs. What a tight end performance. Jesus. I would be scared to death to face Jared's team right now. I would want nothing to do with playing Jared. My bold prediction, Jared goes for over $130 in this one. En route to knocking off Senior. That's right. You heard it. Jared keeps the winning ways alive. Now, Vetri versus Justin is arguably the biggest who cares game of the league so far this year. Justin's team is so bad that he's trotting out potentially not going to play Melvin Gordon. I'd probably start Rex Burkhead. I think Rex Burkhead has a good week this week. But hey, at least Justin is carrying 3 defenses with this shitty team he's got. I wish my starters were so good that I could afford to roster 3 defenses. I don't know what that's like. You have to get at me with that someday. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this. Bold prediction on Justin's team. Dawson Knox drops less than 4 passes this week. Pretty bold considering how he looked on Monday night. But I do think Dawson Knox steps back up. 40 yards and a touchdown for Dawson Knox. On John's side of things, again, don't need to spend a whole lot of time on this. This guy's starting David Johnson and Cortland Sutton. What else do you need to know? My bold prediction in this one is Leonard Fournette abuses the Bills' defense, gets in the end zone twice, 100 yards, 2 touchdowns, en route to John getting the W. There's your matchup preview, and I will see you for the recaps next week after I defeat Heyman.